I'm Elizabeth Talija, PhD, PCC, and a former Wharton professor who recently joined TalentMotives as Chief Science Officer. Most CEOs don't fail because they lack intelligence, experience, or even a strong strategy. They fail because of how they lead, particularly how they think, decide, and behave under pressure. And those patterns are often invisible to them. Most CEOs don't fail because of strategy. They fail because of behavior. When performance declines, organizations tend to question strategy first. But in many cases, the strategy itself is not the issue. The breakdown happens in how that strategy is executed. Execution is shaped by leadership behavior, how priorities are communicated, how decisions are made, and how alignment is created across teams. If behavior is inconsistent or unclear, even the strongest strategy will struggle. So the real question isn't just, is the strategy right? It's the leadership behavior aligned to execute it effectively. Is it? Growth doesn't break companies. Leadership under pressure does. An organization grows and complexity increases dramatically. We've all seen this. There are more stakeholders, more variables, more uncertainty. And in that environment, leadership becomes less about knowledge and more about how a CEO operates. Pressure doesn't increase new behaviors. It doesn't create new behaviors. It amplifies existing ones. So if a leader tends to move quickly without alignment, that accelerates. If they hesitate under certainty, that becomes more visible. Growth simply exposes how leadership functions at scale. Your strengths as a CEO can become your biggest risks. The traits that help someone become a CEO are often the same traits that create challenges later. Decisiveness, speed, control, strong vision. These are valuable in early stages. But as organizations scale, those same strengths can actually create imbalance. Speed can bypass alignment. Control can limit delegation. Vision can overshadow input from others. The issue isn't the strength itself. It's how it's applied under changing conditions. Pressure doesn't change leaders, it reveals them. Under pressure, leaders don't suddenly behave differently. They rely more heavily on their natural tendencies. And those tendencies become amplified. So patterns that may have been manageable at a smaller scale become much more impactful. This is why pressure is such an important lens for understanding leadership. It shows you how someone truly operates. Most CEOs operate on default patterns, not deliberate behavior. In high-demand environments, leaders don't have time to analyze every decision, so they rely on instinct, on patterns that have worked before, but those patterns are often unexamined. It's human nature. And when they go unexamined, they can create unintended consequences, misalignment, communication gaps, or inefficiencies. So without awareness, behavior becomes automatic rather than intentional. Self-awareness is the most underdeveloped CEO skill. CEOs spend significant time analyzing markets, strategy, and operations, but far less time analyzing themselves because they did that as they were climbing the ladder to become CEO. So when we think about analyzing ourselves, How do we make decisions? How do we respond under pressure? How does our behavior impact others? So as a CEO, those internal dynamics influence at every external outcome. Without self-awareness, improvement becomes difficult because the root causes remain unseen. Every decision a CEO makes reflects deeper internal drivers. Decision-making is not purely rational. It's influenced by internal drivers, the priorities, tendencies, and behavioral patterns that each of us have lying below the surface level of our consciousness. Some leaders prioritize speed, others prioritize consensus, others prioritize control or risk avoidance. These tendencies shape how decisions are made and how we act and how organizations respond. Understanding those internal drivers allows leaders to make more deliberate, balanced decisions. Great CEOs don't eliminate pressure. They manage how they respond to it. Pressure is a constant at the executive level. It doesn't go away. It evolves. But the difference is how leaders respond. Effective CEOs develop the ability to pause, assess, and choose their response rather than reacting automatically. That creates stability, clarity, and consistency, even in complex environments. Leadership at the top requires precision, not necessarily instinct. Instinct, we know, can be valuable early on, but as organizations scale, leadership decisions have wider and more significant impact. Precision comes from understanding how you think, how you decide, and how you influence others. It allows leaders to act intentionally rather than reactively. The best CEOs understand what drives them and how that impacts others. At TalentMotives, we focus on intrinsic drivers, the factors that shape behavior and decision-making. When CEOs understand these drivers, they gain a level of clarity that most leaders don't have. And with that clarity, they can align their leadership approach with the needs of the organization. That's where effectiveness truly increases. CEO success isn't just about energy or execution. It's about how you think, how you decide, and how you lead, especially under pressure. And that's what starts when you understand what drives you below the surface level. Intrinsic drivers are the key to your success.